everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Janie. I am a self-taught gardener in Northern California, Zone 9B. And this evening, yes, it's actually evening, I am planning to divide my Pilea Peperomioides houseplant because I am going to a Christmas party for my garden club in a couple days. And at that Christmas party, they have a white elephant exchange. This white elephant exchange is actually kind of fun because the rules are you really don't want to buy anything, you want to find something in your home. So I thought plant propagation, garden party, check, check, I've got this. So I have a pot that I want to put this in. I have a plant that sorely needs to be divided. I bought this plant from Trader Joe's about 2 years ago. It was just a tiny little thing when I bought it, and it's just grown like crazy. And Pilea Peperomioides, also known as Chinese money plant or friendship plant, is called that because it's really easy to divide and take off these little pups that grow off of the mother plant. It's really easy to divide it and then pot it up, and then you have a whole new plant. So this plant a couple years ago became really popular, and it was really hard to find, and it was kind of the it house plant. It's become a lot more common these days, and you can usually find it in garden stores, but it's still really, really expensive. So you can find just a little pup for about 20 bucks. So I thought for the white elephant exchange, this is a fantastic gift. So come along with me while I divide this Pilea Peperomioides by division. So I have a piece of cardboard down to protect my surface. I have a couple pots that I'm gonna plant up my divisions in, and then I also have some soil down here, down below there, that I'm gonna plant up. I'm just using regular potting soil. I'm not using the cactus mix or anything like that because the Pilea Peperomioides, it doesn't really need any special soil. It likes to be watered, but it likes to dry out in between. And I don't know if you can see, but I really torture this plant and I don't water it for quite a while. And you can kind of see that some of the leaves will start to get brown on the edges. And I think it's just time to divide it up and make it a little bit more manageable because this big plant is kind of a pain. So let's get started. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a mess. First thing I'm gonna do is get this plant out of this pot, and I don't know how root bound it's gonna be, but I have a feeling it's gonna be kind of root bound. So we'll see how it does. All right. So basically you wanna take it out of the pot, and then we'll see where it's at. And I've put this stake next to this plant because the mother plant just grew really, really tall, and I wanted something to support it. So let me take this off real quick. Okay, so there's my stake that I had in the plant. I'm actually kind of surprised that these roots aren't a little deeper. Probably just the torture that I've put on this plant. I can see one little pup here that's kind of grown off to the side. And you can see that has some good roots, so that's a good one to propagate by division. Hopefully you guys can see that one. So I'll put that one off to the side. And then I think it's been about 2 years that this plant has been in the soil, so I think the soil is just about done. I will throw it out into one of my beds outside. Let me move the camera so it's a little bit closer to the plant. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better, but you can see there's the mother plant, and then there's these little pups coming off of the edge of it. So far I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pups. So that's 7 plants technically that I could get off of this one division. So I'm just gonna start breaking it up, and I have not watered this plant in quite a while, which actually makes it a little bit easier. It makes it easier to kind of break apart. So you can see that this one will kind of just fall apart. It just fell off the mother plant. And this one I can absolutely divide, pot up, put it in some new potting soil, and it's gonna be a nice happy plant. Let's see if I can get some of the soil off. And if you can see the little roots sticking out there. Good, so I'll put this one off to the side. So far that's 2. And then I'll just keep breaking it apart. And I want to get this one. There we go. That's 3. Ooh, 2 little baby ones that are connected. Can I get those apart? 4 and a half. I'll say that's a half. Five. This is a really good one. I think this is the one I'll give as a gift for the white elephant. 6. And 7. And then I could, you know what, I'm gonna call this 8. Just like that. There's 8. There we go. And then I'm left with this big plant right here. And gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might just throw it away. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut off the top. So if I was to plant this, pot this plant up, I'm just gonna take off the bottom, and this part is gonna go under the soil. And this is just like you would do for a cutting. So this top part, I'm actually propagating via cutting, and then the other ones that I took off with the roots attached, I'm propagating via division. So you can see there's a really good plant. Gosh, maybe I'll give this one. Ooh, that might be really nice. I think I'll do that. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, so let me clean this up and then we'll go ahead and we'll pot up all of our new little babies. Okay, so I'm gonna use this pot. I'm gonna give this pot to the White Elephant Exchange for my garden club. And this pot I got at Green Acres, and it looks like a reproduction old Italian pot. I just find it so beautiful. But I've seen these at a couple places, so they're definitely available. But I just really like this because it's just an easy pot that you can get that looks old and distressed. And so then I'm just gonna measure. I think I'm gonna cut off a little bit more, just like that. And then I'll go ahead and fill some of this up with soil. So I have the soil about halfway, and then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a hole in the middle of it. And then I'm gonna take my cutting and I'm just gonna stick it into the middle and then firm up the soil around. And then I'll just fill up the rest of the pot with soil so that everywhere that I pulled off a leaf on that stem is gonna be covered with soil, and then that's where the roots are gonna come out and it's gonna become a whole new plant. All right, so I've filled the rest with the soil. I think it looks beautiful. I've left a little lip around the edge so that when you do water it, the soil's not gonna drip over the side. And then this pot does have a drainage hole on the bottom, and so that's really important for houseplants. You can't just put houseplants in a pot without a drainage hole, or else the plant will rot. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I love this. I think that this is so beautiful, and I think it's the perfect white elephant gift. Okay, so I have this pot here with my main cutting of the Pilea Peperomioides, and then I have all these little babies that I'm gonna go ahead and pot up because why not? And I think that I'm just gonna go ahead and bring them to the garden party because I think that my fellow gardeners will appreciate these. So I have these little pots here, and I'm just gonna fill these with soil, and then I'm just gonna pot these up. This one has a really good root system. I'm really happy with this. So I think this one is going to do really, really well. So I'm just gonna make a hole. And my daughter told me that I need to show you how big of a hole I made. So I stuck about all my fingers in there and then just push the soil off to the side. And then I'm gonna take the root ball and I'm just gonna stick it down there. And then firm up that soil around the root ball. And I'll just take a little bit extra soil, pour it on top, and then I'm gonna water this in. So there's number 2, number 1, number 2, and I'll make a couple more. So these 3 babies are kind of small, so I think I'm just gonna stick them together and put the whole thing in this pot. And I think that that's another really good gift. I think I'm gonna give this one as the hostess gift. So I've just firmed up the soil around those root balls, cut off the little leaves that are lower than the soil level, and then I'll just add a little bit more soil. And there we go. So cute. And I'm telling you guys, I've seen these at the stores. It's about 20 bucks for this little baby right here. So it's hilarious to me when I go to the store and I see that they're charging so much for this little plant that I have 8 of them at home. So I really should start a business or something, but I don't want to. Anyway, so I hope you guys learned something from this video. This is all about propagation by division. I've already done a couple videos about propagation by cutting. I'll link them in the card up here. In that video, I did cuttings of pothos and philodendron, and that's a really easy way to propagate and get free plants as well. Propagation by division is just as easy. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video very soon. Now it's time for me to go clean up.